So for some of us, if we're anxious enough or stressed enough, we may be going into fight or flight mode. And if that's the case, we're not in a state where we can clearly process things and make sense of everything. And so our goal should be to calm down. That should be the first goal. And so I'm going to share some very practical but simple ways that we can do that wherever you are. The first thing I'm going to bring up is deep breathing. Our thoughts and our physical body do a good job of being in sync. If you're anxious or frustrated, it's clear that your body is going to follow. It's going to tense up. Your heart may race. You might do some shallow breathing. They do a great job of being in sync. And so by deep breathing, you're forcing your body to calm down. If you've heard the expression, take a chill pill, that's kind of a natural way to help your body take a chill pill, to help it relax. And by helping, motivating your body to relax, your thoughts and your mind can follow. Next thing I'm going to bring up is diet and exercise. One thing that pharmaceutical companies do not want people to know, but the chemicals in vegetables and the chemicals released during exercise are the same as the chemicals found in antidepressant and anti-anxiety medications. It may be on a smaller amount, but they're very similar or the same chemicals. Dr. John Ratey, who is a clinical professor of psychiatry at Harvard, he said exercise is as effective in reducing depression as taking a low dose of an antidepressant. Tal Ben-Shahar, a psychology professor at Harvard, said not exercising is actually like taking a depressant. So it's amazing how simple things such as deep breathing, having a proper diet, and regular exercise can help us with our anxiety and our stress. So once we've found some practical ways to help ourselves calm down, and now we're in a state where we can think more clearly, now we can run to God and have an honest, authentic conversation with Him. And that can be done through prayer, just like Jesus on the cross. And also, what I'm a fan of with counseling is journaling. For some of us, we have what I call blender brain, in that our mind is like a blender. Things just go round and round and round. These anxious thoughts just keep cycling, and it feels like it never ends. And with journaling, it can help us with the process of slowing down, making sense of our thoughts and our worries. And after you put them on paper, we can begin to process things. So simple things such as praying and journaling can be some very great ways that we can process our thoughts once we're in a better state. All right, and once we've journaled, now we can process things. And we have to process two things. The first one we need to process is our feelings. So if we're writing a journal entry, we want to see, what am I feeling right now? Whether it's anxiety or anger or fear. And one thing that we teach in counseling is outside situations can influence but not determine our feelings. So for example, if you get in a fight with your spouse, one thing that can be common that people say is, "You make me so angry," right? But let's take a look, have a closer look at that statement. You make me so angry. You make me angry. Which is kind of implying that the other person is responsible for your feelings. Well, that's not the case at all. Remember, God gave us self-control. So don't get me wrong, people can influence our feelings, especially when we're stuck at home all day with our family and what's going on in the outside world, but we choose how to respond. We're responsible for our feelings. So once we identify our feelings, we have to accept responsibility for them. You're responsible for your feelings, not anyone else. And so that's the first thing we identify. Second thing is our thoughts. Journaling can be very helpful for that. It can help us see our negative and sometimes our destructive thought patterns. So for example, let's say you're a businessman and through this COVID pandemic, you're struggling with your business. So let's say you sit down, you start to journal, and you start to realize, and you just start writing. That's the great things about journaling, is you don't have to think, you just write. And let's say you just start writing, "Man, I'm under financial crisis. I don't know what to do. I just feel no sense of security or direction. I'm at a loss." And later on, as you look at that, you can process it and you can reread what you said. You're in a financial crisis. You don't know what to do. You feel no sense of security. And through that processing, you realize in that statement, you're saying that you're putting all your faith in your security and money and not God. And we can have those bingo moments like that. Where in that example, after reading, you go, bingo, that's my problem. I'm putting all my faith, all my security and finances in not God.